Will the NBA Cup win hurt this New York Knicks team? We will answer that in this episode of From the Bench, a Knicks podcast. Hi, I'm Mike Spendley, your host of From the Bench. I'm a proud former ball boy with the 1973 NBA champions New York Knicks. I'm a voiceover guy, and I'm a sports director of a radio station. My co-host today is my brother Chris Spendley, a fellow devout Knicks fan and sports enthusiast extraordinaire, and an all-around great guy. Chris, welcome to From the Bench.
Thank you, Mike. I got to tell you something. I'm fired up today. I am fired up. I've watched 4 Knicks games this week. They've been awesome games, and I got some things to tell you. I'm fired up.
I love it. I love it. I love the passion, and we both eat, drink, and sleep Knicks. It's a big thing in our lives, and we're going to discuss some stuff today. They're kind of at a crossroads here after the enthusiasm is worn off. Quick summary for the week. The Knicks go to Las Vegas. They do their thing. They beat Orlando in a tough ball game right down to the end, and then come back and beat San Antonio after being behind a good amount of that game to win the NBA Cup. 2 nights later, they go to Indiana. That's the game we thought there would be a letdown. But the backups, the reserves, came off the bench, didn't allow that to happen. They had a strong showing, and I think that helps the Knicks with their overall depth. And then the captain, Jalen Brunson, rescues them with a great play at the end of the game, a 3-point play, after getting pushed down to the ground right before. And then OG seals it with the steal. Then they come back home a night later, the well-rested Philadelphia 76ers, and they battle all night, but they run out of gas, and they lose in the final 3 minutes, 116 to 107. Maxey and Edgecombe, just too much in that game. Back to the question in the open, Chris. Will this NBA Cup win hurt this Knicks team in the long run, or will it help them? My answer to that question, and it's my answer, hopefully you'll elaborate on it, is no. And I'll give you 2 quick reasons why I believe that. Regardless of the Knicks' road record, which stands now at 5-6, I think the Knicks are a really good road team. They started out 0-3, if you remember. That 3rd game in a row was the Chicago beatdown, which they came back and avenged at home. They're 5-6 on the road now, and that doesn't count the San Antonio game. We'll consider the Vegas the games to be road games, if you will. So I think they're battle-tested. They're road warriors. Obviously, Coach Mike Brown will have to look at this, especially this month with a good amount of road games in January, how he handles that. And the second reason why I don't think that the Cup will hurt is it's a veteran team, and they've got reinforcements on the way with Deuce now being day-to-day, might even see a couple of minutes against Miami, and that serves it well because we'll probably see him back next week. And then Landry Shamet following soon thereafter. So those are the reasons. And also the maturity and the veteran leadership on this team. I don't believe they will let this Cup win hurt this team in the long run.
You know, Mike, I agree. But I've been thinking about something, and we're this close to an NBA championship. We really are. We have almost every piece of the roster. I wish I had the ability to call Leon Rose. In fact, I'm going to tell you how that call would go. Leon Rose, please. It's a diehard Knicks fan. Yeah, I need to talk to him right away. Leon, okay. I'm sure you watched these last 4 games, okay, this past week. We win the NBA Cup, the Indiana game, we win, we didn't think we could win that one, and then last night against Philadelphia. But you had to be watching. Maxey with 30 points, okay? Nembhard, 31 points. Harper, 21 points. Suggs, 26 points. Is it apparent to you as it is to me? We need a shutdown point defensive guard. Jose Alvarado, go get him, Leon. I know it's hard. Everything you do is hard. Go get Alvarado. We need him. I am so tired. My brother was on the bench for the NBA championship in 72 and 73. They went and got Earl Monroe. They won a championship. Now go get Alvarado. I can tell my brother that the last championship team wasn't the one he was on the bench for. It was the one we watched together. Go make it happen, Leon. Thank you. That's how it would go, Mike.
I forgot to add in the open a passionate Knicks fan as well.
Do you agree we need Alvarado? I mean, every guard that we play that's athletic, that can score, beats us. And can you imagine in the last 3 minutes of a game? Because in the playoffs, that's what it is. The last 3 or 4 minutes, we would have OG and Alvarado on the floor as shutdown guys. It matters. It really does.
And I love that. Number one, I love the passion. Number two, it's going to come down to defense. We all know that. And there has been guards that have hurt us. It's not Brunson's fault that that's not the strength of his game. He's also limited with a 6'2" frame, as is Tyler Kolek. And Kolek has played very well. He did not last night against the 76ers. In fact, his defense hurt him. But to be honest, Alvarado hasn't even been offered yet by New Orleans. So to answer your question, yes, I love that. But do you think that they need a shutdown guy more than they need another shooter? For example, rumors that you hear as Dante wants to come back to this Knicks team.
I thought about that. And, there'd be nothing better than the romance of bringing Dante back to the Knicks and what that would mean from just Villanova and those guys. And that's just that would be so cool. But when you think about it, what you really hope for is Shamet plays that wing guy that can score. And I really do think the priority is a defensive shutdown guard, because I think that's what hurts the Knicks, especially in fourth quarters.
Especially with a guy coming off the bench in certain situations to give you those minutes. I mean, Alvarado would probably, if he came to this team now, especially with Deuce there, that would also be able to, whether Colas succeeds in that role or a guy they bring in this case, your suggestion, Alvarado, they would probably only play maybe 16 to 18 minutes a game. That would also move Deuce over to the 2, a versatile 2 that he can go both ways, when they come in. So I think that's a fantastic thing. My question to you is, what did Leon say? Or was it a message?
So, I forgot, the one piece I forgot to tell Leon was I even had the package. It's, Kolek, he's played so well, and but you know what? There are times when you sell your stock when it's at a high point, and I believe that Kolek could be sold right now at a high point. So you trade Kolek and Yabusele and throw in whatever money you need to, whatever it makes work. I think the money works from a cap standpoint, and you get Alvarado. And Leon told me it was hard. Everything's hard, but I think he bought in. I think he thought it was a good idea.
I love it, man. It's funny. Wouldn't it be great if it was that easy to get through to some of these guys? I had a friend once that used to write the general manager of the Jets his suggestions, and the guy actually sent answers back. You know what? It may be worth something just to even give something like that a shot as a fan and just say, you know what? At the very least, you might get something back from the Knicks PR staff. But listen, that point about having the backup point guard, what about a bigger backup point guard to bring in, to handle defensively with a bigger frame? Because that's what I think we miss. Alvarado's tenacious, no question about it. But wouldn't you also look at possibilities for a 5 or a 6'6" backup guy, just somebody big that can play defense too?
I'm all in on, if it's not Alvarado, a big defensive point guard. Like I said, if you look at, Maxey is just a quality player. Shutting him down is going to be hard no matter who you are. Nembhard, I think, is a good player, but, 31 points. I mean, come on, we should be able to shut him down, and we didn't. Okay, Harper, young guy, can really score, is going to be a great NBA talent, but, we got to figure out how to stop him. And Suggs with 26 points. These guys hurt us consistently, and they have the ball. It's their penetration. So a bigger defensive point guard, Mike, I'm all in on. I just feel like Alvarado could be available based on the Pelicans situation. But if there's someone else, let's go get him.
Hey, listen, Chris, more will be revealed. Again, we're talking here December 20th. The trade deadline is February 5th. So this road-tested team, this month of January will determine a lot of those things, and how often Leon Rose is on the phone digesting both your phone call and calls from other GMs around the league. I think the Giannis thing is a foregone conclusion, as Mike Vaccaro said back a few weeks back, that if you see Giannis trade come through to the New York Knicks, then you know something awful has really happened, an injury, and God forbid we hope that doesn't happen down the road. Let me ask you this. I went back and watched the last 6 minutes of the Indiana game the other night, and I looked for some things. The Knicks had gone in, and you had mentioned it too when we were talking about the Indiana game that was going on live. that the Knicks had played a little zone in that game. You hadn't seen a whole lot of that from the Knicks this year. I watched it twice the last 6 minutes, and the Knicks basically called off all double teams in that 6 minutes. It was unbelievable. If you go back and look at that, and they went one-on-one with everybody. There was a double once in the corner just because the ball bounced out of one of the Pacers' hands. But again, I thought it was interesting that Mike Brown, trying all sorts of different lineups, even varied his schemes. So I wonder, and we all know that that would eliminate a lot of problems in terms of closeouts and getting back to the three, although they've done a little better job with that in the last few games. Now, they played teams that aren't tremendous three-point shooters, but do you think that that's something that they can employ? Obviously, a backup defensive point guard would help that too, a scheme of more one-on-one defense.
Sure. And I think, a zone, I think they said it as we were watching the game against Indiana. A zone can happen in short snippets of time, which surprises a team. And NBA teams are guilty of being in their routines, and this is what they do best. And when you switch it up like Brown did with the zone defense, it kind of takes them out of their scheme, and it takes them a little while. It's not one possession or two possessions, but all of a sudden 4 or 5 possessions, and they haven't figured it out yet. But for long periods of time, I think a zone, doesn't work. But when you do it for that short snippet like Brown did the other night, I think it can be a valuable scheme. I think it works.
Well, I think we know what they have to do. Obviously, they have to navigate this tricky schedule in January and keeping away from obvious injuries and giving guys some rest. I think the look in Brunson's eyes last night as he sat on the bench the last couple of minutes of the Philadelphia game showed me that I believe he needs, when I say a rest, not necessarily a game off, but some low-minute games coming up here if possible. He doesn't want that. He's a warrior, and he wants to be in there every minute. But the gaze in his eyes told me that, he just went through a lot this week. And, we hope that it comes to fruition with Mike Brown. Listen, I appreciate your feedback on that. Great conversation with Leon. That'll help us down the road, okay? To everybody out there, if you like this video, please help the channel out and hit the subscribe button, which is in the bottom right of your screen. And please, I'd love to hear your comments on the show. I'll answer all the comments as well. I want the audience involved with this podcast as we move along. Get involved with From the Bench, and please leave us your email, and we can explain what we're trying to do with our VIP club in the huddle. Go to michaelspendley.com and leave us your email. We'll get the information to you. That's michaelspendley.com. Again, leave us your email, any comments you want to leave as well, and we'll take care of the rest. Chris, thank you for your time. I appreciate you being with us, and we look forward to the Miami game tomorrow night.
We're this close, baby. We're this close. All we need is one guy. Leon, go make it happen.
It's fantastic to have that positive reinforcement after a game, which really is not a devastating loss last night, okay? We knew that it was going to happen. We thought it might happen in Indiana. But to hear my brother's positivity and the phone call with Leon Rose, we're excited about it, and we're going to move forward on it. Again, I thank you for being with me, and we look forward to you being with us down the road and co-hosting with me. Thank you for watching our episode of From the Bench. Stay focused.